Okay, so let us start.
Okay. Um, Hi everyone. Welcome to Atlassian Community Events Dubai chapter. So let me introduce myself. My name is Mahima. I build Atlassian apps for Jira and Confluence here at Optimizory Technologies. So yeah, we're very lucky that we got the chance to be the coordinator for the Dubai chapter, starting with this event. So yeah, so yeah, we're all part of the Atlassian community. So let me reiterate about the community. So we can stay in touch with the Atlassian community via various in-person events, virtual events such as this one, and also the online community forums. Okay. So coming to the Dubai chapter, so let me share our vision. So the main intention is to bring attention to latest progressions in the Atlassian ecosystem, such as Rovo, Atlassian Intelligence, and all the new things that are coming up via regular in person and virtual events. So, Optimizory is also coordinating Atlassian community events in Jaipur and Faridabad also in India, and we're very happy to see that there is a lot of active participation from the community there, and so we are seeing a steady increase of the number of participants. Right now, it's over 100 participants. So similarly, we are hoping to see active participation in the Dubai chapter too. Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt. So in Dubai, we are just starting. So first event in many. So so I stay in Dubai, and so I asked Atlassian to restart this chapter. So they asked if I can take the responsibility of owning that this happens regularly. So we wanted to do this event in person in Dubai, but looking at the current situation, we organize this as a virtual event for now. Maybe the next event will happen in person in Dubai.
Okay. Okay. So a little bit about Optimizory technologies. So we are an Atlassian solution partner. We make various add-ons for Jira and Confluence. So our products are used by various global industry partners spread across 20 plus industries in over 50 countries. Okay, so next, short introduction to each of our speakers. So first, we have Selena. So Selena is a growth marketing lead at Great.io. She is an Atlassian creator, Atlassian champion, and Atlassian certified professional in managing Jira Cloud projects. She has led over 16 plus Atlassian classes focused on showing non-technical teams how to use Jira. And she also regularly posts tutorials on YouTube teaching people how to get the most out of Jira. So we actually got in touch with Selena through the Atlassian community, and she has also helped us a couple of times understanding the Atlassian marketplace even better. So a warm welcome to you, Selena.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're looking forward to your talk. So next we have Fabio. So Fabio is the founder of Artigiano del Software. an Atlassian Silver Solution Partner based in Italy. So he is an Atlassian certified professional, an Atlassian creator, and he is the author of the book JQL for All, which teaches how to run queries effectively in Jira. And he has been working closely with Atlassian products for over 17 years now. And he also regularly writes blog posts, courses, and shares insights on LinkedIn about the Jira ecosystem. And so yeah, our relationship start with Fabio started about a year ago, and we regularly stay in touch and talk about the latest proceedings in the Atlassian ecosystem. Very happy to have
Exactly.
you, Fabio. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And next, we have Meenal. So, Meenal is a co founder and director of Optimizory. And she's also the founder and CEO of Easiofy Solutions, a health tech company transforming healthcare delivery with AI powered platforms. She is experienced in creating customer centric products in healthcare and enterprise software. She regularly shares key insights in health tech innovation, digital healthcare transformation, women founders in tech, and building high performance teams in various in person and virtual events. And Meenal is also an Atlassian community champion.
Okay.
Hi, Meenal.
So just to add on, so I'm in the process of becoming the champion. So I have to work hard for that.
Okay. Very warm welcome to you, Meenal.
Thank you.
Next, we have Pankaj. Pankaj is a technology entrepreneur with over 26 years of experience in enterprise software and product development. He is the co founder and CEO of Optimizory. He is the CTO of Alpha 5. He is focused on solving systemic enterprise challenges in requirement management and compliance, especially for regulated industries. He shares insights on LinkedIn about product strategy, Atlassian ecosystem trends, and lessons from building bootstrapped B2B SaaS products regularly. Hello, hi Pankaj.
Hello.
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Um, Next, we have Dheeraj. Dheeraj is an experienced software CTO of Optimizory, where he leads multiple development teams, building enterprise grade apps for the Atlassian ecosystem and beyond. With over 17 years of experience in product engineering, he has spearheaded the development of flagship products like VREST and RMSys. Hello, Dheeraj.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, thank you all once again for being here and sharing your knowledge and insights in the Atlassian ecosystem. Yeah. So, let me share today's agenda. So, first, we are going to have a talk by Selena on how to run projects with Atlassian without sending a single email. Next, we're going to have a talk by Fabio on notifications in Jira Service Management from chaos to control. Following which, we are going to have a panel discussion on Unfiltered Atlassian, what actually works. So, following these, we are going to have a common question and answer session at towards the end. So, I'm going to be reading out the questions we have from the community, and the speakers here are going to answer them. So, I encourage everyone to participate actively and keep writing questions as talks proceed. And I also encourage you all to interact with each other via the chat. Okay, so let's get started. Selena, over to you.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Just please tell me if you see my presentation. I think it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hi everybody. It's great to see you opening. We have quite European team today. I'm from Poland, Fabio is from Italy, so we have like cross-continental team today. Few words about me. Just like you've heard, I'm Selina. I work at Grid.io. It's a US company, and we implement Jira for other companies. We are not solution partners, but we like operate the same way. What I like to do is to educate people about how to actually use Jira from what we already have in the setup, and mostly I'm focusing on non-technical teams because like I believe that Jira is quite intuitive for every team, no matter if this is development team, marketing, HR, or sales. So yeah, today we are going to talk a little bit how to run project with Atlassian, inside Atlassian, and how to create them with tools that we already have in it. So it will be a few slides and then a quick demo. So, okay, let's start it. So first of all, let's talk about something that is called admin debt. And it's said that like 40% of the week we spend chasing on updates, pinging, manually syncing tickets, trying to find something. And also, I found recently data that actually 60% of our day is the time that we spend work about work. So searching for files, switching between 10 different apps, asking what's the status. And it's not only a headache, in my opinion, it's a massive productivity bleed. And today I want to talk a little bit how we can reduce that, not to 0%, but at least to 20%, and how we actually do that internally in our company, because at this point I have only one meeting per week, and I actually know how to operate everything inside Jira without email threads, without Slack pinging, without like calls that are spare. So like to fix this, we need one system, one platform, and no friction. So I believe that this is one of the biggest advantage of Atlassian on the market right now, because you can actually run your whole project and your whole operations with one system. And what we have here in mind. So of course, Jira for execution, project management, and planning. Confluence for Jira Service Management for tickets managing internally, externally, and also few things that people actually don't use very often, meaning Loom to reduce per meetings, to reduce, to give better feedback, to reduce like never-ending comment threads, also goals that you can set up in Jira, links to your tickets, and actually see the progress inside without Google Docs, without having it in SharePoint. It can be everything in Jira, and of course it will be the AI accent and how you can leverage Rovo here and how you can add Rovo there, with one example how we did it in our company. So yeah, quick example about what actually you can do with Jira if you want to, and if you know what you have inside. So daily stand-up should, like in Scrum, of course, should like be about 1 minute per person, and very often it's too long. Very often it's like 1.5 meeting. I know because my boyfriend works in Scrum, and I see that every single day they are talking about things that they shouldn't do on that meeting. And it's about, they spend about more $200 per day. And actually the stand-ups can be replaced with simple JQLs and dashboards in Jira. So this is a quick example of what we have in Jira, what data we can have in Jira if we set up correctly and if we make people actually use it. So we can create JQL that answers the question, what did you do yesterday? So the first stand-up question. What are you doing today? The second stand-up question. What is the team doing? Where are the blockers? And also the blockers, the stale tickets, the tickets that are not moving from the transition. So this is possible with very basic JQL filters, and you can create, for example, dashboard for it. Okay, let's go to Jira and let's take a look at how we can set it up. I will talk about one automation because I don't have much time, but let's talk about one automation, goal setup, how to use Loom, how to connect Confluence, and so on and so on. So yep, let's take a look here. I'm just going to change the tabs. Yes, I've changed. Okay, so this is a basic business projects. And first of all, let's open the ticket and let's see what we have here. So we have Confluence page linked. We have a Loom video embedded. Here we have a goal linked and that this is on track and the due date should be by the end of this month. Here we have some linked work items and a checklist. This is actually the part of the app Power Tools. But as you can see, one ticket has a lot of context and people here know why they are working on this ticket and what's the goal. We have also due date, which actually is my favorite custom field here because due dates can give you a very clear calendars. So let's take a look at a very quick calendar. Maybe I will share this one. So this is my personal calendar inside Jira. And as I already said, I work in marketing. So actually Jira replaced me the spreadsheets with content calendar, with plan. I have everything here just because I remember to put the due dates. And I know what is over the deadline. I know what I've done. And I can very easily check what I've done the last month. And of course, it can be automated, very easy. So when you would like to achieve the view like that, of course, first of all, you need to have your team actually use Jira, assign tickets, and fill the due dates. But with simple automations, we can actually get rid of that. And here goes the automation I think that every single company, every single organization should have. And this is assign based on transition. I've pre-built it because to be faster, but here what's happening. So when work item is transitioned, then the work item fields are edited and assignee is the user who triggered the event. So let's paint a quick question here where we have, for example, a Q&A specialist like the software tester, and they want to have the next issue from to do or from backlog, and they do the transition. They are the assignee. So in 90% of use cases, it should work. It should be properly assigned, and you can minimize here unassigned ticket, broken reports, and also you don't have to make your team tickets by themselves. And we know that people actually don't like use Jira when it's too complicated, and that's the main problem. And of course, the next one can be reminders after 5 days. So I talked about JQL that show you the stale project, and this is the automation that I also like to recommend. So every single day we have trigger that at the 9 a.m. when I start my work in my time zone, this automation is fire up, and we take a look and we search for the whole tickets, like for all tickets that are not resolved, they are not done, they are not completed. Like here you need to actually use every single done name you have inside your instance, and we know that it would be ideal, but life is life, and very often we have many different names for many different statuses. And very quick string that updated is more than 5 days, and then you can automatically comment the work item like, hi, can you update the ticket? You can also add here the if there is, for example, we can add here the if there is assignee, if it's not empty, and then you can here put the assignee name to tag it, right? So this also removes, first of all, emails with, hey, when it's going to be done and what's happening there, and Slack message, team messages with sending the link and asking what's going on there. You can do it exactly in Jira. Of course, the easiest way without automation, you can just filter those tasks with this JQL, open it, take a look at work logs, at history, and comment it if you need it. Okay, and like the very last automation today is scheduling recurring tasks. Like I said, the biggest problem with Jira and making people do it is that it's too complicated. And if you can think about things that are repetitive, recurring, you can automate it. So once again, trigger is scheduled. Here I want this task to be created once per month, first day of the month at my morning, and then you can create, for example, reports. So when I'm working in marketing, I know that every single month I need to create a reports for my boss with the results. So this is going to be automated. Here you can use smart values. So when you click here, so this task will be named, for example, reports March, and the next month it will be reports April. And I really like to automatically add due date because I use this calendar feature heavily. So here you can also automatically add due date. And if you, for example, type this now plus business day 5, I know that for this task I have 5 business days, so the whole week to work it, and it's automatically pre-filled, and your team doesn't have to do it. Okay, let's go back to this ticket that we saw. Design. Okay, so what we maybe now let's talk about Looms. Looms is my absolute favorite Atlassian product, and it's very intuitive, and it actually can really replace meetings. So if you want to create, for example, Looms like here, I don't want to, like, you can play, but haven't say anything to here. It's only for tests. But as you can see, I recorded my screen. I talk something. So if you have a feedback, this is way better way to do it. We actually stopped typing to each other when it comes to the feedback. We always use Loom, and it's very easy to navigate because with this little plus here and video, you can record video from this view, or you can link video from your Loom library. And if I want to be honest, my Loom library looks actually like that. So as you can see, we use it heavily. From time to time, I need to test some things in our organization. So every single time I found a bug, or every single time I have something, some ideas, I just record my screen, add Loom, add it to the ticket, or add it to the comment, and that's all. The same way you can also create it inside the Confluence. And what I recently learned, that you can also create Looms from Gmail level. So when you are creating a Gmail email, you can also use Loom. It's not very aligned with the topic how to not use emails, but you can do it also from there. So now let's talk about, to see goals on this issue view, you need, of course, put it to the layout. This is a predefined custom field by Atlassian, but you need to add to the issue view. And here you can find all the goals that were created, and you can also click here, create goals. But let's go to the navigation of goals. Yeah, here. And see what we have here. First of all, of course, we have all goals that are created. You can create it from here. You can star it, you can filter it by owner, and so on. But let's take a look what's inside. Overview, so it should be description here. If you want to, this is like O in OKR framework. So if you want to create key results, meaning like lower, like child issues to this main goal, you can do it from here. Here is the tab for updates. This is very nice, but as you can see, I can say this goal is on track, commanding, and change the color, which is automatically changed on the issue view. So the whole team knows where we at, what's going on. They can just open it and see why it's off track. Like, you don't have to type on Slack that this goal is off track because of this, and we need to do this. You can do it here. You can tag people, and like what I like best is that it's actually seen on the issue view. And of course, here is Jira tab. So here you can see every Jira work items that are contributing to this goal. So this is the exact ticket that we worked before and that we see this goal before. So once again, here is how not to use spreadsheets, not to use external tools to create goals, because you can actually put everything here, and I believe that it can maximize the productivity of the team. And like the main goal here is to make everyone on the same page and everyone well learned about what's going on. You can have here risk, decision, learnings, projects, everything in one place. Creation is very intuitive. You can do it from here. You can select if you want day, month, quarter, and then just make sure that you have overview that is easy to understand by your team, and you actually link this with Jira. Okay, let's go back to this view. And also, last but not least, let's talk about Confluence. I'm going to use our Confluence from Grid.io. As you can see, this is my space, very coordinate. I know everything where it is. It took some time to create it, but as you can see, like we have lots of pages there. But what is super cool that we recently pulled up with Confluence are meetings. We have an automation that's create every single week. The new page is created here. So we have it recurring, and this is for today, and I haven't created it, Josh haven't created it, it was automatically created. And also from every single, let's go to some past, every single meeting, we have some action items. And it was actually quite hard here for us to follow up with these action items because, you know, I track my work in. I came here only before meetings, and then it was like, oh my God, I have something to do, like here, for example. And we asked ourselves how we can automate it and how we can put these action items on board. Of course, you can do it like from here, and you can create Jira work item from it, but we actually create ourselves an agent. I think it's called buddy something. Yeah, L10 task buddy. L10 is the name of our meeting, and as you can see, is review our latest meeting notes for action items. And after the meeting, the Rovo agent is asked to create our tasks, and they know exactly, like the agent know exactly that if something was tagged with me, it will be on marketing board. If something was tagged, for example, with Whitney, it will be on implementation board. So we automated it. Actually, Rovo works really fine there. Last week, there was a massive change in, I think, backend LLMs in Rovo, and it changed the performance of Rovo, in my opinion. So, yep, this is the way that you can actually make sure that you won't forget about action items, that your meetings are effective and they are not lying in the Confluence trash and are forgotten. And last thing about Rovo, how I actually use it. I use it for JQL, that's for sure, very often. But also, if you want to manage automations and you need to create something that you don't actually know how to create, the creation with Rovo actually works fine. I tested it a few times. I know that the voices are split, but for me it worked fine. So for example, when I wanted to pull up the automation that you also should have, for example, when all subtasks are done, the parent is done, Rovo made a really good work here. Maybe let's try it once again. I need automation that when all subtasks are done, the parent is done. Let's see. Yeah, this is automation that I also highly recommend to pull up for everyone, because once again, it minimizes the friction, right? This is something that your employee team buddy has to do it to avoid the noise on the board, but I don't see any point not to doing it automatically. So here we have one work item is updated for parents, all subtasks are matched, done, and then transition the work item to them.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. I think let's go back very quick to here to my presentation. And yep, very quick summary from me. So as you could see with this very quick demo, Atlassian really allows you to create your operating system inside this one suite. So we have Jira tool. You can automate statuses transition, use validators to ensure every ticket has the data it needs to move. So for example, you can do it on workflow, right? You can do validators that if subtasks are not done, you can't move this to done. Confluence to create documentation, to link Jira to these things. You can also automate it. Every single time I need to create a blog article and I've created issue type that is blog article, I have automatically created the blog article page in Confluence with the summary of the issue. It's possible. Rovo can turn your meeting notes into tasks. Goals, very powerful to connect the why to the what by linking Jira task directly with those goals and to make sure that your team knows what they are doing and why they are doing it. Loom just replaces meetings and gives a lot of better feedback there. You can also automate it. I believe that you can send a transcript, and based on transcript, you can also create work items. Actually, we didn't touch the GSM, but I'm sure that Fabio will do it. Yep, so GSM just eliminate emails, put your customers, put incidents internally, externally inside the Jira, and have all the queue for it. And something more comprehensive, but also underutilized assets. We talk a lot about assets in our company. It's to track your hardware inside Jira. If you want to dive deeper to it, we have a very nice video on YouTube about that. And yep, that's it from me. I have slide for Q&A, but I believe it will be after. So thank you.
Yes, Selena, we'll have the Q&A session at the end. So the talk was really insightful.
Thank you.
We also have a couple of questions for Selena, which we're going to be taking at the end. Thank you, Selena. Okay. So next, we're going to have the talk by Fabio on notifications in Jira Service Management from chaos to control. Over to you, Fabio.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. I have a short presentation, and after we go also in my test environment just to see directly some results. Okay. Let me go to presentation. Okay. Can you see my presentation? Okay, let's start. See notification in Jira Service Management. As Selena said, Jira Service Management allows us to delete and reduce in a very, very short number of email, but the notifications still remain. And in this presentation, I'll try to describe how notification works inside the JSM, what are the common errors that are inside the notification, how to improve, and how apps can help us in improve the notification just to hit the real problem. At the end, I also describe two case use from my customers, two different customers with two different situations. Let's go. But first, some words about me. So, as you see, I'm Italian, of course, but I'm mainly Sicilian because my origin are from Sicily, mainly from the city of Syracuse, well known also the old-time New York, because the conformation, the topomastic is like New York City, because the center of the city is in an island called Ortigia. I'm also a computer science graduate from Pisa University, so I have a passion about computer science since I was very, very young. And I started working with Atlassian products since 2009. So I use Atlassian products since a long time. Well, just working about the notification. As all system desk service systems, Jira Service Management use notification to inform a user about various events and situations, and allow notification to become a system for alerting. So the real goal of an email, in this case, in these systems, is alert the user. Okay, there is an event, there is a fact, there is a comment, there is some things that need your attention. But in my experience, this notification can always be a double-edged sword. I mean, could be a powerful tool, but also a powerful tool against you, if not correctly configured and managed. This can also create the situation I described using this image. We are literally flooded by email because exists this fact, this is a comment, this is a status change, and so forth. So the main problems are email overload. So important items get lost in the noise. Agents and project manager receive irrelevant updates and mention. Customer get unclear or poorly timed messages. So also there is another point of attention about Jira Service Management notification. If you do a lot of operation in a few seconds, you receive one notification with a lot of events. And this is a noise also for the customer and also for the agent. Last but not least, automation rules can send notification. But if you use this notification badly, this is a noise, really noise. Every tool is a great tool, but the real power is use this tool following this intelligence. Now we got the solution. How JSM notification works. First of all, JSM use mail. So agents, request participants, stakeholders, customers receive emails for notification. These notifications are ruled by email scheme. All the information are stored inside the configuration of the project. So in this case, we have also to take care about the configuration. Last but not least, internal versus shared comments. JSM introduced this concept that we have internal email for agents, for collaborators, for other internal licensed user, and shared comments with customer. Who drives this notification? First of all, there are standard events, because inherit the standard events from Jira. So we have ticket creation, agent assignment, comments, update, resolution ticket, etc. We have two different configurations we have to take care. The first one is the notification scheme, the same used also in Jira project. So issue created, issue updated, and so forth. These are the events we can use. But with JSM, we have also the notification for the customers. In this case, we introduce others events, customer invited, request created, and so forth. So in this case, we can cover all the needs of a service desk. But also using automation, we can also create notification following status transition, field update, ticket creation. In this case, automation are great because allow us to create notification following specific programs. As you see, automation allow us to catch and trap a lot of triggers, a lot of situation. Step that we have to do to increase and have clear notification is who must act when it arrives. If the notification does not cause action, okay, we can remove, because it is a nonsense notification. In fact, not all notification. In my experience, default notification scheme or default customer notification are not necessary in more or less than 99% of the company. So using the default notification scheme is not always the solution for the agent notification. And not all customer notifications are necessary. This is the goal. Because sometimes only few notifications just reduce the storm of email that agents and customers receive. Yes, automation can help because we have two specific action, send email and send custom email. But I like the create a new comment, because send email and send custom email produce specific notification. Mainly send an email, use a different email to send notification to customer. If a customer answer to that notification, this notification will be lost. Instead, using the create a new comment, we put all the information in the same flow, because standard notifications are called and used. So if the customer answer following the email, the comment will be catched by Jira and will be present in the comment thread. We have also action for Microsoft Teams, Slack, and other common system of chat. The last time there is also from WhatsApp and Telegram also. So we have to focus only to the most important events for the company. For the agent, usually I prefer have my attention to only these events: creation, comments, transition, update, and assign. For the customer, usually I concern my attention in invitation, ticket creation reply, comment, approval, request participant added, and sometimes close ticket and status transition. In some situation, I prefer don't send any notification for status transition because the context of that customer does not require this notification. And for the automation, usually I use new comment. Apps, or if you prefer add-ons, helps in other situation because, just for your information, the out-of-the-box functionality of Jira Service Management for the attachment allow to only put the link inside the email. So if you need to attach image or file in the notification email, sometimes it's necessary using add-on. This is, I think, a security requirement that Atlassian use just to protect attachments. Other point, in my experience, I also work for a large company that use cloud standard plans. In this case, as you know, standard plans have a low number of execution of automation. So in that case, just to cover and obtain the same results of a premium over enterprise, done because allowed to have a wide range of events and options without consuming automation. So this, yes, is a way also to obtain the same result without lose the number of execution. And now, let me describe two different case use. The first one is HR service by mobile app company. Use a mix of standard events and automation. I will describe the needs after. The second case is a packaging company. In that case, I disable standard notification and replace them with an app notification for Jira. In the first company, this company has implemented a set of HR services delivered by web portal or a mobile app that also used for several HR services inside the company. And I set up a service desk using JSM where it receives support requests both from web portal and mobile app. JSet forwards development request and bug management to a software development project implemented on Jira. So the JSM ticket is linked to a Jira task bag. The need for the customer to keep customer-facing notification is set to a minimum because the customer does not want to have a lot of email notification. The company will manage special notification to customer based on events tied to the software development. For example, they want to send a notification if the ticket has been taken in charge by software development, when the bug fix or new feature is in testing, when it has been released inside the backend. Okay, in this case, the solution was reduce for the agent to only this event: issue created, issue updated, and issue assigned, because the agents, in this case, are a few number, 3 for this case. They prefer only receive, okay, I received a new ticket to examine, I have a ticket with some update, and I was assigned to this ticket. So we configured the default notification scheme with a new one, and I only activate only these events. For the customer, in this case, I only use this kind of events: customer invited, request created, public comment added, request resolved, and approval required. In this case, I don't use other events for the customer because all the communication are done using public comment. In fact, the special communication between Jira and JSM are done using standard notification and using an automation that on specific status change, the automation check whether a linked GSM ticket exists and add a public comment, a specific comment for the specific status change. The ticket is in test. Okay, customer, your requirement, your feature is now in test. We are testing and so forth. If it is released, okay, customer, your feature is released in a new version of the program. Please test and check if the result is what is expected or not. And this is great because we reduce the number of notification and also drive the notification exactly what the customer need, and also the final customer that receive a lot of email receive only the right number of email. In the case 2, the scenario is a company that designs and manufactures packaging, has implemented a service desk using GSM. Requests are submitted both by portal, both by Microsoft Teams, directly from the production site and the assembly lanes. In this case, the need is keep notification low, as a number. A notification must include appropriate branding design because the company needs own logo in the email, brand colors are important, supporting information, user-friendly, engaging layout, and so forth. Also include attachment inside the email. In this case, the solution was totally disable the standard notification. In this case, standard notification are not enough for this customer. Configuration and customization is not too good for them, so I decided to disable completely. I also use Notification Assistant for Jira to replace all the notification, because this add-on allows a full customization of the email layout, but also allow also to include attachment inside the email. So customer at the end of the answer receive a complete answer, but also receive attachments, so they can see directly inside the email. Automation are limited to adding comment to JSM. So also in this case, they use standard because, yes, it's a big company, because I have more or less, I think, 1,000 employees, but the IT department is only 10 persons. This is a normal situation in Italy. And in this case, is also important, as I can say, obtain the correct way to approach the situation of the customer. So also the goal of the customer is also understand the environment, how the customer works, and also what are the limits. And inside this limit, use the Atlassian products, the flexible. I underline this word more or less 10 times because the Atlassian products are very, very flexible about this. And we can adapt in any kind of situation. I also adapt it in manage problems inside assembly lanes, because a lot of my customers are manufacturing customers. And thank you for your time. Now I switch to a simple environment where I can also show some critical point that you have to take care. First of all, following what I say in my presentation, not all these standard events are necessary. For example, a comment edit, I usually disable this event because it's not necessary. The most important thing is advise the customer that there is a comment, not that the comment was modified 10 times, 20 times, and so forth. Or this is deleted. Not usually I don't allow this operation to delete comments. I prefer maintain all the story, because in some situation it was very hard understand and rebuild all the history of a ticket if the deletion is allowed by users. So I concern my attention to usually work item created, resolved, assigned, and closed and comment, because are the most important event that you have to take care. Inside JSM project, we have two different kind of configuration about notification: internal for the agents and collaborators, and customer notification. Also in this case, Atlassian do a great work because allow us to configure a lot of possible events: customer invited, request created, public comment, request resolved, reopen, and so forth. In this case, I prefer only concern my attention to customer invited, request created, and public comment added. Usually, public comment edited, organization added, customer status changed are secondary event, and usually I don't use in my configurations. And usually the company does not prefer use or have notification about this. They want to be concerned in what is the work. This is also the goal. And also about the possibility to configure the layout. If you see the layout, the standard layout of the email is not too much configurable, because as you see, you can also edit the message, put some information, and so forth. By automation allow more configuration for the notification, but in some case we cannot put, for example, brand color of the company. In my experience, I worked with more or less 10 companies in Italy where the color is the brand of the company. So they asked me also put this specific color because it's important for us, because the color recognize our company and so forth. Also the logo, also some information, some images, for example, are not putable in the standard configuration. By the way, some apps like Jira allow us to put colors, brand, logos, and so forth inside the email. And as you can hear, I'm a big fan of apps. And sometimes I prefer create like a Lego bricks, if I can say, a solution that fits completely the needs of the customer. In this case, I prefer tailor literally the solution for the customer need, for the customer environment, but also for the customer situation. Because in my experience, I work with a lot of customers, and each customer have own story and is different from each other one. That's all. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for all, really.
Thank you, Fabio.
Thank you, Fabio.
I was just typing the question.
Okay, that was a nice session, Fabio. So everyone, please leave your questions in the box. We're going to take them up at the end. Okay. So now let's move on to the next section of the of today's event, which is the panel discussion. So we're going to have Pankaj, Selena, Meenal, Fabio, and Dheeraj in the panel. And I'm going to ask a few questions that I have personally, and which I have noticed that a lot of people have regarding Jira. So after that, we're going to take questions from the chat. Okay, so let's get started. So my first question is to Selena. So you keep in touch with Atlassian's latest developments, right? So, and we see that Atlassian also keeps us giving a lot of shiny new toys like Loom, Rovo. We have Atlassian Intelligence and goals, as you mentioned. But we see that most companies they don't adapt to these new things very fast. No, they still keep using Jira as they have used 10 years back. So why do you think that is?
Okay, that's actually a great question. Like we see very often that our customers, use Jira like it's 2005, like 15 and so on. And with so many changes, so first of all, I think it's all about people and why they are not doing it. It's because, in my opinion, it seems a little bit like extra work. And if something works correctly for a long time, why we should change it? They don't know actually what is the income. So my answer here, how to change it, is to educate the people more, like show them the income, show them what they can do right now. Atlassian is pretty good at it. They have like lots of community events, articles, and so on. But also, I think that having in your company like the technology evangelist, somebody like that who's actually into these changes, who actually likes doing it, who actually likes to implement it, would be ideal. Now we see a lot of people like that in AI area. For example, there are like lots of careers opportunities for people who will be implementing AI inside the whole company. So why we are not doing it across the work management tools, right? So I think that's the best answer. Or you can also like work with some companies that know better, right? And they can help. But I believe that this is caused because people, they know what's changed and what they can benefit from.
Okay, so you say that even such as this also help people start using new things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very nice to hear that.
So I have a question here because it is relevant. So Loom, I just posted in the chat as well. So were you using Loom before Atlassian acquired it, or you started using?
Actually, I did. And actually I did because like I'm a marketer person, so I record lots of videos, lots of technical documentation and so on. So actually I used it, and when they announced that they are going to buy the Loom, I was like over the moon. And now I believe it was a good shift. Loom is getting more and more accessible. Like it's so easy to navigate, it's so easy to access it, and so easy to share it. And now with automation, it's perfect. So yes, actually I did it, but I think now it's better.
So actually, I was also a bit, so whenever some new tiny tools come up, so I like the tools, but I don't use many tools just because they are not backed by some big company, because I don't know what will happen to my data.
Yeah,
After
security.
we stop, publishing it. So when Atlassian acquired it, so this tool was introduced to me by Mahima only. So she is a avid user. So I used to like that, but when Atlassian acquired it, I was also like, now this completes the suit.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get you. Lots of people like check the security things and so on, and it's like very insightful. And also like people don't like changes, right? Like when I'm changing once again the webinar platform, I'm sick. Like why we do that? But also this implementation and this adoption moment is very, very important. If you don't like something at the beginning, you won't like it like later, right? So it's really important to onboard the tool properly.
Right.
And I know that people feel very overwhelmed by Jira at the very beginning. So
Okay. So my next question is to Fabio, and this is kind of related to the last question about changes. So although changes are important, we see that when Atlassian makes even a tiny change, like moving a button that was on the top bar, they move it to the side. Or recently, like when they renamed a core term like issue, So how does this affect practically people working Atlassian users and people in big companies, and even us as marketplace partners and developers?
That's a good question. Usually, to improve to the product, Atlassian must introduce improvement, but also renaming. And these changes always involve also the layout. Sorry for my allergy. Okay, I'm here. But sometimes I do not agree about this change. For example, call a Jira project a Jira space, make confusion with Jira Confluence space. So, in my opinion, Atlassian must make use different terms for different programs. This is my opinion, of course. I don't know if Atlassian want to introduce a unique concept like space, where there is a project, is a Confluence space, and other information, just to have a unique collection of information. But as a solution partner, we do always one thing, virtually or in person, stay with our customer and explain always the benefit of this change. Always explain the benefit, even if sometimes the scene is more or less like this. As you can see in the in the left, more or less is like this. It's like a funny scene, but it's a normal situation when you use a good version of a product, because innovation are introduced every day, and Atlassian must introduce this innovation because make the product more secure, more safe, and also more usable. That's also important. This.
Yes. So as you said, I also found myself doing that. I reach out to the top bar and see that the button's not there. So that happened multiple times before the habit had formed.
So about the terminology also, people are confused in either way, because just now Dhanush has also posted one question where he is saying, are the goals project same as Jira project? So if the term is project, then they are confused, like is it a goals project mapped with Jira project or not, right? But sometimes it makes sense to keep different terminology, sometimes it makes sense to keep same term.
Exactly. The only renaming I was totally agree is issue instead of what instead issue. Let me say one fact of my working life.
Yes.
Was the time that the first translation, also Italian translation, was introduced inside Jira. I remember during a training course, a person enter in the room and say, "I don't create problems." The reaction of all present, also mine, was, "What? What problems? What we are talking about?" A bad translation of issue is in Italian was translated as a problem, and
Right.
the person was go wild literally, and screaming for more or less half hour. We need 1 hour to calm it, and okay, now understand the problem. We try to put again English language in the notification. Don't worry.
Yeah. So now it seems more funny. So
Exactly.
someone saying create an issue. Yeah, that is true.
That was the first time of the first translation. I don't imagine the translation in other languages.
Yeah, like on Saturday, I trained some women from Poland with Jira, and I need to speak in Polish to them. And like Polish interface was like X, horrible.
Okay.
I think that we have to talk with the Atlassian translator and say, okay, come with me. I try to explain how Italian works, how Polish works, how Turkish works, Hindi works,
Yeah.
and so forth.
Okay. Moving on. So this question is to Dheeraj. So we see that Atlassian is moving towards AGC, that is Atlassian Government Cloud, and it plans to make a data center read only, I think by 2029.
Right.
So why is this shift important? Why is Atlassian doing this? And how does it impact companies that are heavily using these versions of Atlassian data center? And how does it impact marketplace partners and developers?
Okay. I think it's a very great question. So I will be very direct because as of now, I think the ecosystem is still underestimating the urgency because the deadline is to 2029. There are still 3 years, maybe less than 3 years. But uh, Atlassian is making a very major platform shift, and it's a hard reality that data center is not a long-term solution now, and server is already dead. In this month, March 2026, I think Atlassian will stop accepting new DC sales, and in 2029, Atlassian will stop everything related to DC. No support and no patches will be there on Atlassian data center products. So for regulated industry, I think it's not important. I think it's a compliance because that's the end date for the Jira DC software from Atlassian. So why this ADC matters specifically? In March last year, Atlassian acquired the FedRAMP moderate authorization. Now Atlassian is moving towards FedRAMP high authorization, isolated cloud. But this single milestone last year unlocked the marketplace of US federal and regulated industries. Now, before that, US federal and regulated industries can't even use the Atlassian cloud products because it's not about the feature set. It's because the compliances are not there. That's why they were not able to even use those products. Uh, it's about whether the tool chain can even be approved for use in the US market. So AGC is basically specifically built for that particular purpose. They have acquired FedRAMP moderate authorization. Now they are planning to acquire FedRAMP high, as also for the mission critical organizations inside US. So for marketplace partners, I think the opportunity is very huge in the coming years. As of now, maybe some organizations are not taking it as urgent action, maybe because there are still years when Atlassian uh, will stop the DC, and Uh, but I think as we move towards the deadline, then more and more companies more and more US federal and government agencies will come and they will use this Atlassian ABC. And in future, when Atlassian will launch the isolated cloud, then mission critical agencies like healthcare industry, defense industries will also acquire isolated cloud as well. So the opportunity is huge. As of now, there are less cloud in terms of apps. If you look at, there are around 5,000, more than 5,500 apps in the marketplace right now. But for the AGC, the ratio is very less right now. So as of now, the opportunity is huge for marketplace partner. Uh, if we can build our app for the AGC platform, then it will really help to acquire those customers which will acquire AGC environment, AGC Jira, government and federal agencies. So it will open that market for you if you adopt right now, because this is a real opportunity as of now. And my advice would be to start. My advice would be to make your app compatible with AGC. It's not that hard. You need to uh, see all the compliances part. You need to take action on those parts, and everything will be done. We already have done it in Optimizory. Most of our apps are on AGC now. So we have we have moved our apps. I think 7 or 8 apps we have moved to AGC now. So uh, everyone can do it, and they can move towards AGC. So they can patch on this.
Okay, that's nice to hear.
It's a big opportunity for everyone who is building in Atlassian
Mhm.
ecosystem.
My next question is for Meenal. So, Meenal, you work in the healthcare industries where uh, there are a lot of audits, right? So, when it's time for a formal audit or a regulatory check, so do you think that Jira makes your life easier, or is it a nightmare to find where is what and who did what?
So honestly speaking, it's a lifesaver. Only thing that matters is that you set it up rightly. Initially, there are apprehensions that we don't want to use Jira because the setup is very complex. But like when I talk about EasyOFI, the health tech company that we have, it's a AI powered oncology treatment planning workflow. So here, audits are not optional. We have to do those audits, and this is how we exist because of this audits. So just giving the example of my health tech company, initially without Jira, it took somewhere around uh, 1 to 2 week for audits because we always had to struggle. We used to manage in Excel sheet, so we had to struggle who changed the requirement, who signed off. There was no link for the requirement, so it was a very cumbersome task to do all those audit and pass those audits. After introduced Jira and used Jira audit logs and issue history, it helped us. So now we can easily pull up who changed the requirement, who have signed off. So the only thing that is required is discipline in the team to manage those Jira well, and then it's a lifesaver.
Okay.
So
So,
with Selena's automation, you can create an audit report also, which you can generate directly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Questions directly mapped to queries now.
Right.
okay. So the next question is to Pankaj. So as we use Atlassian apps as an entrepreneur, so and a CEO, so we see that Atlassian starts cheap, but it gets expensive fast as you grow. So is
Mhm.
the tax you pay for these tools actually worth the ROI for a growing business?
So Atlassian does not charge, till you are a very small company, and it charges, only after a certain number of licenses. Okay, so people can, start developing their habits, and if they don't like, then they can, move away also. But generally, what happens is, in our own experience, we started with, 5-10 people, and now, almost there are, I think we have more than 20 users in our instance. But it really pays off because, with so many people, so many things are happening inside an instance, because someone is commenting, someone is creating an item, someone is writing a document, someone is note somewhere. So if, this data is scattered, it will be a nightmare. It will be a nightmare to, find knowledge out of that data, right? So Atlassian tools makes it easy and makes it structured. And now, with the help of AI, you can find almost any information which is accessible to you. Okay, so I think uh, the the tax is genuine. It's worth it. And and earlier, only people were generating data. Now imagine, agents are generating data. And I have read some article a few days ago where some person in US court said that, it is generating data that humans can't even review now. So AI is generating so much data, it is impossible to review. Okay, so we need such tools, and I think we need more improvements also in Atlassian tools, so that this data is organized as proper knowledge.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
sure we are moving into that direction.
Okay. So next, coming back to Selena. So So we talk so much about Jira, but we know that there is at least always one person on every team who refuses to use Jira. They still prefer writing in Notepad or committing it to memory. So what do you say to those team members? What's your secret sauce for winning over that person who hates this system?
Okay, so yeah, I even used to be that person. Like, if you don't have your process tailored to your work, like you don't want to use the tool, right? So first of all, the process should be tailored a little bit more on for what you need. And also what we like to say in Grid and what we like to say to our customer is that they need to make Jira easier than Slack message. So if using Jira would be like very smooth, very easy, then people will start using it. For example, in enterprise, like bigger one, sometimes it's easier to open the ticket, find everything you need, than to search the person who's responsible for on Slack, because very often you don't even know who that is. But how to make this easier is like to minimize fields, to minimize UX, to delete the validators that you don't need. Very often it's like, of course, there are validators that has to be there. Like, we like to make our lives a little bit harder than it should be, and making Jira more accessible, intuitive, and like definitely like totally easier than Slack message is what I can like tell you right now without going very deep to the setup.
Yeah, so we need a balance between what's required and what's unnecessary
Yes.
constraints.
Like even your sidebar, like it's so messy when you don't toggle it off and so on. So if you will take your time and actually make Jira like suitable for you, it should work.
Okay, that's a great answer. So Fabio, you work with CEOs in big industries where data leak is not a small thing. It's a catastrophe. So when these leaders are terrified of moving to cloud, Atlassian cloud, how do you convince them?
Very excellent question, because this is a problem and a hot topic, I think, in all the world. Also in Italy, because the real problem for the CIO is the lack of the control of the data. Where are my data? Where is my God? Sometimes this is the reaction that I have to manage. Our job is also supporting the CIO, but I think that the most important thing is provide information as more than possible, just to describe the complete situation. This is where your data, this is where the data are transferred, where are protected, and so forth. So in this case, we can provide and yes, provide the correct security for the CIO. The lack of information is also another big problem, because the cloud was also hinted, also some articles, also some bad newspaper, I can see if I can say, describe the cloud as a bad place where put your data. This is not true. Cloud is a very, very general term. We have to make a context of this term and describe better. In Italy, but also in Poland, we have also the European Unit X that allow us to put our data in every country inside the European Union, for example. And we have all the GDPR. Is more or less, yes, some rules are strict, but some rules are done to protect the data. This is also important. In this case, information is important, but also one thing, in my opinion, I have trust in producer of add-ons, because the producer of add-ons cover the missing functionality. So I think that in the future will be some apps that allow us to give more access to CIO. For example, providing the possibility to put your sensitive data or your data generally where you want, in a safe area that you can retrieve in every moment, you can check in every moment, and so forth. So I have this thinking in my mind that in the future, not too future, but in very, very close and near future, some producer will provide a solution that allow us to put the data where we want. So
Yeah,
why not?
that's a great idea. I think many people will benefit from that.
Yes, just if I can say, is a mix of the functionality of Jira, the flexibility of Jira, with other functionality that allow to increase the power. That's my idea.
Okay. Uh, the next question, it's to Dheeraj again. So you lead multiple development teams. So practically, does Jira assist you in leading your team, or is it just a very expensive way to see that everyone is still in progress on things that they should have finished last month? Meaning they forget to update the Jira ticket, and we have moved on already from them.
Okay. I think the talk given by Selena has already answered this question, because we can use automation nowadays to move tickets, to give the reminders automatically. We can use even we can record action items on Confluence. Such kind of things we can do with the help of automations. Uh, so that's not a Jira problem. I think that's as Fabio already mentioned that. It's the tool it's the tool, how we use it, it's very important. So how we use Jira is very important, instead of uh, saying it's a Jira problem. So it's the leadership problem, how you are using Jira, how you are how your team is updating tickets. That's the issue. You need, if your team is updating your tickets honestly, that then I think it's Jira will become a powerful tool. You can see the blockers before they become crisis. You can see where the work cluster. You can see where who is overloaded before they burn out. So if the culture is to move it to in progress and then forget it, no tool can fix it. Even not Jira, not anything. So Jira will help you lead only when the board must reflect the reality.
Yes, that's a great answer. Yeah. So, Meenal, this question is to you. So, we know that doctors have notoriously bad handwriting. This strikes an analogy in my mind. So, is Jira's interface, is it the digital equivalent of that? Meaning only the person who wrote it actually understands what the ticket is for. Is that is that what happens?
So, so in early days, if I talk, yes, exactly, this is what it used to happen. So I'll give you an example. It was exactly like who wrote the ticket, only they can understand what the ticket is meant for. For example, there was a patient flow got broken. So, and that no detail was mentioned in that ticket, like which patient, which flow, which screen, nothing. So, whoever used to raise the ticket, developer used to go and ask, what does this ticket mean? And then they used to explain. But we solved this issue by creating ticket templates, and also we created custom with adding mandatory fields, also which all are the affected modules, expected behavior, actual behavior. So adding all those things, we could solve this issue. But yes, initial days, it was like the one who raised the ticket was the one who used to know what the issue is.
Okay.
So this can be solved with the like setting certain rules, setting up using many
Mandatory
market
fields are important.
mandatory fields are important. Actual and expected behaviors are also important.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So you can set up mandatory fields, make your own templates for tickets, and use many marketplace applications to set this up. This helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So Pankaj, I have a related question to you. So, so uh, similar question to what was posed to Dheeraj and Meena. So, as a leader, so does Atlassian help you see the big picture of your company, or does it bury you in so much detail that you lose sight of the big picture?
Okay. Yeah, it's related to my previous answer also. So because we have so much data in the system, so it is, see, even if so now we have tools which can bring the big picture up, right? But because Jira data, Confluence, and everything, all these are structured data, stored in some database with some perfect schema, right? Easier to this makes it very easy to find out and build a big picture. Okay, so of course other similar tools also make it uh, brings the big picture quite easily if the data is structured. So yes, Jira also makes it clear. I am not a technical implementer of Jira, but looking at from this point of view, where I have to see organization direction, where the projects are moving, are we converging towards the requirements raised by customers. So I can easily find these information using the Atlassian tools.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a great answer. So actually, I had a few more questions, but
I
since we're
think, but
running
we are
out of
running out of time. Yeah.
yeah. So there is one question. I think to Dheeraj by Michael. He says, "Is there any timeline when it will be rolled out generally, government and isolated cloud?"
Government cloud. Mhm.
Okay, Atlassian Government Cloud, it is already generally available. So it was generally available, like I think in October 2025, last year. So, and for isolated cloud, they have not declared yet, but it will be generally it will be available. Not, I'm not saying that it's be generally available, but
I
I
have
think it will
a follow-up
be.
question here. So isolated cloud would be equivalent of, right? If someone is not willing to leave Jira data center, so isolated cloud would give exact same like on-premise kind of environment, right?
In isolated cloud, basically nothing will be shared. It will be fully single tenant kind of application. It will be
Okay.
on the cloud, but it will be single tenant. For ADC, the parameter will be they have created a
Mhm.
application which is separated from standard cloud.
Okay.
In Azure Cloud, basically, we have to choose the location that where we want to host the data. Like in current
Mhm.
Jira Cloud, we have currently
Residency.
11 locations.
Okay.
So,
Data residency.
once,
Mhm.
yeah,
In isolated cloud, I think they will for isolated cloud they will acquire this FedRAMP high authorization and IL5, which is required for defense kind of organizations.
Hmm. Makes sense.
Okay. So Michael, I hope that answered your question. Next, we have a question from Dhanush to Selena. Are projects in goals different from the space concept we have in Jira products?
If I get it correctly, like yes, like goals, they are just made for being goals. Are projects in goals different from the space concept we have? Oh, okay, I get the question. No, when you have a project in goals, it means that you will see the projects that are linked to the goals. So when you have a Jira tab, you saw the Jira work items listed, and in project, you will see the projects. If that was the question.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Dhanush, so I hope that answered your question. Otherwise, please revert here. And he had another question that says, "Does Goal support Loom videos as well?" See, Selena has answered this. That we can embed the link, but don't think there's an option to record directly for there. At least
Yeah,
as of yet.
there is a place to add the attachment, add links, add photos, add like media, but there is no place right now to actually record Loom from there. So you can go to the Loom, record the Loom, and put the link there.
I'm sure this feature is coming.
Yeah, I think it too.
Okay. Yeah, and that was the questions we had. Okay, thank you everyone for giving us
It
the
was
time.
a great first meet after so many years.
Yes.
Thanks
Very
for conducting, Mahima.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thanks everyone. And at the end of this session, we are shortly going to share you the newsletter with the details of all our speakers, coordinators, and the recording link for this session. Thank you, and let's meet again in an Atlassian community event.
Yeah.
This is a community event, so just let me make a point. So recording will be shared with everyone, and let everyone use this snippets of this video their own purpose. So that is fine. Yeah.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay then, bye everyone.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Yes,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
Fabio.
you.
Bye Selena. Thank you for joining.